I'm wondering what your overall impressions are of the sort of the Russian science that you see here. I mean, are you convinced of anything? Do you feel like it's...
Oh, well, I did a lot of reading in preparation to coming here, and I was quite impressed with Russian literature. And now that I come here, I'm quite impressed with the habitat. And so, like, I was pretty much convinced that this hominoid existed here in Russia. And now some of the sign I've seen has been very convincing, especially the twisted willows that we saw yesterday and something we saw today.
And but you're also concerned about a little bit of falsification, or you think there is
well,
something going on here?
No, I don't. No, I'm not. We have to be concerned about hoax tracks in North America. I mean, but I'm not really concerned here, but it's always a possibility, and one wants to err on the side of being too conservative or too cautious, rather than accepting something that may not be valid. Better to just keep it on the shelf, or like certainly like what we saw in that cave it indicates a need for more research. It's sufficiently convincing to say that scientists here really could spend their time well studying that area. And they are.
But when you talk about a center of hominology, would that be sort of a first thing for the world, or what do you?
Yes.
Or is that's something you've actually been advocating all your life, or a lot of your life, or is it?
Well, my position as a wildlife biologist is that here's yet another large mammal alongside moose and grizzly bears. There's the Sasquatch, which many of us consider to be an upright great ape. I mean, even if it turns out to be more human, it's a large mammal, as humans are. So I see it could fit in quite nicely with the existing system, basically, of zoology. But here they have made a dedicated institute for it. That's wonderful. Yeah.
And to repeat your overall view, I mean, here you have seen evidence of Sasquatches, but you never saw one yourself.
I actually did see one once. It was not a good sighting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but for me, the evidence is more the physical evidence is more convincing. The tracks, and some of the evidence we saw here, some of that twisting is I find pretty compelling. Twisting of branches, willow branches yesterday, and an aspen or a poplar this morning.
And what was your Sasquatch sighting?
It was on a project where a family actually had been putting out food for a group of Sasquatches on a farm, and they were I won't say they were seeing them commonly, but they were seeing them from time to time. They have film footage, and when I was visiting there, we saw one standing kind of hidden, but.
What did you do? Did you chase it, or did you?
No, I was in a house looking out the window, and the woman actually approached it with some food, hoping it would come into the open, but instead it turned and ran away. Yeah.
And how many years have you been doing this?
Well, it's over 30 from when I started, but then I've dropped it several times. It's been difficult because I moved from central Canada to western Canada, and in establishing myself as a biologist there, I really didn't let it be known that I was interested in this subject, because it's kind of a scientifically taboo subject.
And has it caused professional or personal difficulties for you? I mean, really pursuing this?
No, I've just kept it quiet, basically. The difficulty is that one is ignored. There are no, any colleagues I have are right here on this trip, but I haven't. My colleagues, my biologist colleagues, don't want to talk about it. So that's problematic.
Yeah, I mean, at least in the Sasquatch world, you're kind of a celebrity. I mean, but at home, you're kind of a closet.
Yeah, well, yeah, sort of, yeah. But I accept that now. The second book I wrote actually explored why is this subject scientifically taboo? What is the problem with it? And so I've come to understand that some discoveries, which are perceived as unlikely, take a long time to become accepted, and we're in that process, and I hope I'm contributing to that process.